So guys, welcome back to the channel. Now you see three earbuds here. You see the One Plus, Bud 2s. Love these headphones. Noise cancellation, has all the features you would want, and a price tag that's like $50, $60, right? And they were on sale at one point for $29.99. And listen, these headphones are amazing. The reason I'm not comparing this today, because this actually has bells and whistles and features. These don't when you compare it. Now, I will say that this does have multi-pairing, which people want, but just keep in mind, I want to say that when it comes to noise cancellation, when it comes to transparency mode, none of these have that. This is a $79.99 product. These are the Skullcandies. I'm not here to say that they're bad or anything like that, but I just want to show a price comparison about how some companies feel like they want to charge you top dollar for a product that's not top shelf. Versus you have the Soundcore p20i's. This guy right here, online right now on Amazon, is $24.99. Some sellers will sell it to you for $19.99, but I normally go by Amazon choice because it might be a actual department or a company selling it to you, and you can get it next day or same day. Now, with that being said, let's compare the two. Let's talk about it. I'm going to sync them both to the Steam Deck over here, and off camera, I want to sync them, of course. And then we're going to do a comparison in real time while I'm playing the game about what I hear, quality of sound, and the main differences, and which one is actually worth the asking price. So guys, for the video purposes, I'm going to pop this case open, right? And I'm going to take the earbuds out so you can just take a look at the earbuds while I'm talking to you guys, because this is a more technical video than anything else. I know some people asked for some. I am getting back in the groove of actually responding to messages on the ENWest network rather than hearting things. I'm just really busy with multiple channels and, you know, my job and business and everything I do outside of that. So do apologize for anyone that thinks that I'm ignoring them. Here are the headphones. So first things first, this is the p20i, $24.99. Then you have the Skullcandy Rail at $79.99. Now keep in mind, I got these for $40 at Ross, but that's a Ross price tag. These are still normally that $80 price tag online. Sometimes you'll see sales, but the sale will never be cheaper than $24.99. So with the, I'm going to do the hand motions right here so you know which one I'm talking about. So with the p20i, you're getting Bluetooth 5.3. With the Skullcandies, you're getting Bluetooth 5.2. They both have app support, but keep in mind that the Skullcandy has 22 equalizer settings in addition to being able to customize it yourself, your own manual one, while the Skullcandies, I'm not sure how many they have again, I kind of forgot, but the Soundcore Anchor definitely wins when it comes to customization. Though what I will say is that the Skullcandies do have multi-point, which is going to make a difference for a lot of people that want to connect the same device to multiple things, so please do keep that in mind. Now, in terms of battery life, this is where it gets a little different. The Skullcandies technically do have more battery. It's 9 hours in the ear, 33 in the case, so you get 3 charges or a little bit more over 3 charges. But the point is that it gives you a total of 42 hours of battery life, while the Soundcore Anchor p20i's have 10 hours per charge and 30 hours of battery life in the case, would give you a total of 40 altogether. So it's not far off. And not to mention the fact that they both do have gaming mode. So for you guys wondering, in order to get the gaming mode, you do have to download the respective application for either device. And you're going to have to actually manually tap gaming mode, which it basically allows better quality to the listening experience of when you're playing mobile games and things like that. But it is a possibility that they could disconnect because it's straining and using more of the, I don't know the technical terms, but like I said, this is Bluetooth 5.3, this is Bluetooth 5.2. Take that as you want. Personally, I like them both when it comes to connectivity. I haven't, neither one of them disconnected. Though what I will say is that the p20i's actually connected faster than the Skullcandies on a technicality, because the Skullcandies will actually tell you 100%. It'll give you a percentage. It'll let you know a couple things when you take it out of the case, and then it'll finally connect. And by that point, the person would have called and went to voicemail, but to each their own, right? Now let's keep going. They both have touch controls. Now, fast charging on the p20i will give you 5 minutes of charge. No, I'm sorry. 10 minutes of charge will give you 2 hours of playtime on these, while same thing, 10 minutes will give you 2 hours, and it's called rapid charge for either one. So you don't have to worry about that. One's called fast charging, one is called rapid charging. Technically, they charge in the same amount of time. They both give you the same amount of listening time, even though overall, this is 10 hours on one charge, this is 9 hours. I don't think you'll notice dramatically that much of a difference. When it comes to IP ratings, this is IPX5 water resistant, and while the Skullcandies are IP55 water and dust resistant. So again, it really depends on what it is you're doing as a person. Most people like myself, I ride in a scooter in the rain. It doesn't really make a difference to me. I'll have a winter hat on, so my earbuds never get touched. But what I will say is in the summertime when it rains, again, I ride my scooter through the rain, especially when I go back and forth to work, and I want to make sure that I have that water resistance. And as long as you're not in a tsunami somewhere, you can take raindrops with both of these and come out unscathed. I've tried it myself, even if it's not suggested, which I would never suggest you do that. It still does the job very well. So with that being said, both of them are very good. Now keep in mind, $24, $79. Let's go over to the next section where I'm actually going to sync them to the actual Steam Deck. And like I said, I'm going to take the rubber tips on here and put them over here because these are technically bigger. Are they? Not really. They're actually closer to the same size now that I think about it. But I'll be honest with you. I'm very interested in which one is going to perform better because I'm doing this in real time. I did not take the time, even though I used both buds, I never really compared them to each other up until now. So I am a little excited about this. So let's get it right over to the next section. So I actually had to go off camera and clean these off. Plus I switched the earbuds to the large tips. I'm going to put these same large tips on the actual Skullcandies for this review. So I take them outside of the case. I'm going to put them in sync mode. And just going to let this do its thing, the Steam Deck. P20i's, here we go. They are going to sync. Someday. They'll sync someday. It shouldn't take this long to sync, if we're being honest here. Come on. Oops, we'll go back to Bluetooth. Where are we? Come on. Okay, there we go. They are synced. Shouldn't have took that long, but they're synced. I'm gonna pop them in the ear. That's my mistake because I did have to actually unsync them originally and resync them so I can show you how the process is, and I made a mistake. So let's go back to Cyberpunk 2077. I'm going to turn this up so I can hear it everything. So far the sound is obviously good in these. I like these headphones a lot. Okay. Just test the gunfire. Oh, they call me a cyber psycho. That cop? Yep. Let's see. Okay, so wow, they sound pretty good so far. I'm really immersed. Like you can hear all the background noise. There was a couple cars going past, the people yelling and screaming. When I turn left and right, you can hear the sounds where it's coming from, right? It sounds pretty good so far. Matter of fact, let's play some music. I think this is the easiest way to do it. Oh. Oh. Y'all can't hear the music, but it's Cyberpunk. Okay. It sounds very, very good. There is no lag in this headset whatsoever. And it's not even on gaming mode. Okay, that's good enough for a review. Because remember, I've actually used these before. So let's talk about it. Oh, let me get that glare out of there. There we go. So here's the thing. I already know how these sounds in terms of music. We're not talking about that today. We're talking about just connecting them to other devices. Because a lot of times when you hear about headsets, they're meant to be connected to phones, right? But some people connect Bluetooth to their Nintendo Switch. They connect things to their Steam Decks, like me. They connect things to their PS5. They connect things to their Xbox Series 1 and Series X and all that stuff. Not everybody wants to use an over-the-head headset. These sound very good, very clear. What I will say is obviously they're $24.99. The bass is a little overwhelming in my opinion when it comes to like usage outside of music. Normally when you listen to music, it's like sectioned off in a way where the instruments play. It's certain levels. I don't know if you guys ever use FL Studio. So let me kind of explain that. You have the option to turn up bass, turn down bass. You can add multiple basses. You can add snares, kicks, instruments, different things, electric guitars, all of that. When I listen to music, like the radio station in Cyberpunk, it sounds perfectly fine. It actually sounds very, very good in my opinion. The gunshots sound fine. When I was shooting the cop, unfortunately, in the game, what ended up happening is that the bullets connecting, the sounds of it hitting flesh and stuff like that, the screams of the people running around, everything sounded like it the way it was. There was no delay whatsoever. So if you're one of those people where you're playing, I don't know if Modern Warfare can run on a Steam Deck or not, but if you're playing some type of FPS shooter, I don't think you'll have a problem with these headphones. And keep in mind, they're only $24. That's why I say Soundcore does a really, really good job of just making quality earbuds for a reasonable price that break almost every other company. Most companies will sell you something like this for 50 bucks minimum. Skullcandy is one of those companies, though they do have some decent $20 Skullcandy buds, but we're not reviewing that. We're reviewing the rail over here. And I like them. P20i's are always the way to go. The only downside to the P20i, if we're being honest here, is that the speakers, when talking to people, can sound a little cloudy at times. If you're talking in the subway or something like that, people won't really be able to hear you, and you will have to take the Bluetooth off and just talking to your phone, because it picks up so much background noise that the person can't really make out what it is that you're saying. So there are some negatives to having cheaper headphones. Obviously, AirPods, Galaxy Buds, things like that are the best when it comes to underground speaking. I'm only making a comparison just to let people know. Call quality, you can find decent call quality, but at $24.99, it's decent in a quiet area. It's decent if you're outside when the wind is blowing, different things. It compromises a lot, and you notice the compromises at that price tag. But outside of that, I really like these headphones. Let's go into the Skullcandies now. Alrighty, so I'm gonna pop this open, see if it goes into sync mode that way. We'll check it together. Now let's go over to the settings. Where are we? Bluetooth. See if it scans it and finds it. Not yet. Okay. So 9 times out of 10, I probably have to take these out of the case in order for them to sync. Let's do that now. See what happens. There we go. I believe that's it. No, it's Philly Swift. That's definitely not it. All right. Let's give it a second. There we go. Skullcandy rail. So it did take a little bit longer for this one to find the Bluetooth, but it connected faster, believe it or not. And again, when you have headphones that cost a lot more money, normally the connectivity is going to be faster. Skullcandy, don't get me wrong, they're not a bad company, but I do not like what they do in terms of pricing because they're not really competitive in the market. They just started making competitive pricing with some of their recent headsets, which again, for people saying they're not competitive, I have reviewed quite a few of their headsets. I know their Skullcandy Dime 3s and things like that. I already have an order coming, so I'll review those soon. But again, $80, like you can get a lot for $80. But regardless, let's pop these in the air. And I'm gonna tell you my experience with these while playing the same exact game and doing the same exact thing. All right. Okay, turn it up. Okay, so the music in the car is much clearer than the music in the car is much clearer on the Skullcandies, without a doubt. It sounds a lot more uniform. It sounds a lot more sharper. The quality is definitely better. I'm not even going to sit here and try to front and act like it's not better. It's definitely better. But here's the thing. It has a lot less bass than the Soundcore so far. But bass is in everything. Personally, if I'm listening to a song or music, I want to make sure that the quality of the headset is something that just all the way around is good. So I'm listening to the kicks, the snares, the drums in this song. It sounds very, very clear. There's no cloudiness whatsoever. It's no over bass. There's no like that crunchy noise where it just sounds a lot better and richer for Skullcandy. And I expected that. Again, if I compare this to a Soundcore Anchor product that's the same price tag, we'll have a whole different type of conversation. But I also want to admit that I did have to turn the volume up higher on the Skullcandies because they're substantially lower than the Soundcores. The Soundcores were actually hurting my ears a little bit at the volume they were and for what I was doing. Now I'm going to just Get out of the car. Let's see. Responsive. Okay. Still sounds good. Yeah, it still sounds good. Slide, jump, music. Yeah, everything is still on point. Yeah, still sounds good. And the music's still playing in the background. Okay. Good enough. That's all I needed. So, let's talk about it. The Skullcandy headphones have better sound. They have better quality sound overall. That means we're talking the melody, the vocals sound better. Everything sounds better, in my opinion. Now, the Soundcores are they're louder by far. They're louder. The bass is definitely better. A person that's into rock music, rap, heavy rap, things like that are definitely going to like the Soundcores a little bit better, in my opinion. But keep in mind, I'm not using the equalizer. I'm using a Steam Deck. And for you guys out there looking at this comparison, I do full actual breakdowns of these headphones on the channel. Keep in mind, I didn't post the one on the rail yet. It's already done. I'm just editing it as we. I'm actually editing it right now on my phone as I do this video. Right? I know. I abuse my phones, but they both sound very, very good. In terms of quality, yes, the Skullcandy is going to have higher quality, especially with the price tag. But the Soundcore Anchor for $24.99 is definitely worth the asking price. But let's talk about this in the last section. Which one is actually worth purchasing in terms of price? So guys, I do apologize. I was all over the place in that video, just talking. I was a little excited, and this is just a quick comparison. It's not to sit here and tell you which one you should or shouldn't buy. I just wanted to compare a product that's cheaper versus one that's more expensive. So for the people out there that made it to this section, the first part was talking about specifications. It's not that far off in terms of like battery life, Bluetooth connectivity, things like that. They both work very well. If we're talking about feel in the ear, I'm going to go with the Soundcore Anchors. They just feel better and sit better in the ear. The Skullcandies aren't bad. There's a very solid headset. The problem is that this fat part right here fits directly in your ear canal once this goes in, and it can feel like it's putting pressure in your ear canal, which can hurt it over time, especially if you have loud music. While these, on the other hand, it's just an overall thinner headset in general. Well, it's on a curve. So when your earbud goes in, all of this fits toward the end of your ear, and it doesn't feel like it's pressing hard, like it's forced to be in there to hold it in place, if you know what I mean. But the point is that in terms of music quality, I'm going to give it to the Skullcandies, obviously, especially for the price tag. I never expected the Soundcores to be better in this video to begin with, but I just wanted to show you that I'm not disappointed. If you hear my voice, I'm not disappointed at all. I'm still going to pick the Soundcores at $24.99, number one. These are $79.99. Let's put it in perspective. For $10 more in taxes, you can get a pair of Samsung Buds FEs, and they have all the bells and whistles of a high-end product. So why would you ever buy these? I don't know what Skullcandy was thinking when they priced them for $80. Like I've always said, I'm not a retail marketer, so obviously I don't know who the Skullcandy clientele is. I'm assuming the hardcore people will buy Skullcandy regardless because they love their products. Personally, I just get whatever that works. I don't do product love and all that. I'll use anything as long as it does what it's supposed to do, if the company is willing to make a good product. And for $80, absolutely not. They lost their mind. Even though I praised it and said a bunch of things that were good, the price tag just doesn't justify what this offers, especially given the fact that if you're in a commute, let's say the subway or something like that, these are going to be louder on the subway to block people out than the Skullcandies. Even though I told you the sound is better, yeah, that's true. It's not like the sound is bad though. Let's not discount this as just being terrible. It's not at all. This is actually very, very good, and it's highway robbery that this is being sold for $24 in the first place. Hopefully Soundcore don't see this and start raising prices. But my point is that they're both good. If you can find these for $40 like I did at Ross, absolutely, this is going to be the better headset overall because of just the clarity of the microphones. That's what matters at the end of the day. But when you add that extra 40 onto it, absolutely not. You're crazy. I would never buy that. On the other side, this is $24. If you're a person coming from AirPods or Galaxy Buds, you're not going to want those. You're going to want something in the middle ground that's actually going to sound good. That's where this guy comes from, the OnePlus Bud 2s. Now, they don't have the same microphones as Galaxy Buds, obviously. Oh, lights out. Give me 1 second, guys. Here we go. Walk over here. So anyhow, these are the middle ground, about $50–$60. They have active noise cancellation, they have transparency mode, they have a bunch of features that you want, equalizer settings, things like that, updates. It has all those features. That's why I say when you look at the three of these, you need to shop around. That's why I never talked about this, because out of all of them, obviously this is the best one in terms of music quality, in my opinion, microphone quality when talking to people. I haven't had any issues outside of being like in windy situations and things like that. Obviously, it's no headset's going to perform at the highest degree unless you're willing to pay that price tag for, again, AirPods and Galaxy Buds. And the reason why I say those two out of all of them, because they're the most common headphones that people have, in my opinion. Yeah, there's Beats too. They sound pretty good also in inclement weather and different stuff like that. But that's a whole different tier in terms of price. Again, if you're going to get these, don't waste your time. For the $79.99 regular price, go get the Galaxy Bud FEs. They're on sale for $79.99. So that's out of there. If you're going to, if you still are looking for the top tier quality and call quality and things like that, this is pretty good. But again, Galaxy Buds FEs. If you want something that's affordable, that's reasonable, that's going to hold up long, and has great battery life, here you are. But keep in mind, there are other Soundcore headphones that are way better than this for a $20 difference or so that I can easily suggest to you guys. But again, different strokes for different folks. Everyone shops differently. I'm not here to judge what you decide to buy. I'm just saying make sure that you spend your money positively and not frivolously on something just because of a name brand. Anyway, like and subscribe like always, guys, and I will see y'all in the next video.